teen beating that shocked the country. 8 teenagers accused of being involved in this video. They're now all facing adult felony charges, some carrying the possibility of life in prison. As for the victim in this savage hit job, well, she's recovering from blurred vision, hearing loss, but there is outrage coming from the parents of the accused, believe it or not. Some angry that their kids were even arrested if they didn't throw a single punch. Clearly, they know nothing about the law. Our legal panel fortunately does, and here they are. Fox News legal analyst Mercedes Colwin and former prosecutor Kisha Hebbon. Good to see you both. All right, Mercedes, this is serious stuff. I mean, I'm thinking of conspiracy, kidnapping, false imprisonment, not to mention assault and battering. The poor victim lost hearing, lost part of her sight. I mean, this was heinous, atrocious, and cruel. Are the charges, as one mother claims, too extreme?
I think they are, and actually this is what the defense bar is going to say. Look, despite what we saw on air, and it's awful, it's terrible stuff, they're going to try to say that this video shouldn't even come in court because it would inflame the jury. That's definitely a stretch, but certainly something they're going to try. The defense is going to say, no, the participants who are not actually throwing the punches, who aren't doing the kicking, who are not doing the thrashing, they shouldn't have that.
It's a conspiracy. The participants were involved. They were videotaping. It was at a private location. They waited until no adults were present. So to me, there is a conspiracy. They may not have been throwing the punches, but they all planned this.
Yeah, Mercedes, if 3 guys are involved in a robbery and somebody dies, all 3 are facing the same charges, even though one person pulled the trigger.
Sure, but it all depends. If they're going to go forward with, that's a felony charge. But let's say they say,
some of these are felony charges.
True, but with this conspiracy, you have to have steps. You have to have planning. What was the communication? What was there an expectation? It's not enough to say that, look, there's a videotape. So obviously they all planned it out. It's not entirely like that.
Was this victim free to leave? I don't think so. There were lookouts. These people were here videotaping it. Obviously they planned it. They made sure that what was happening was going to happen. Yeah. And they had to plan this. The meeting of the minds.
These are clearly horrible kids. You know who are even more horrible than these kids? Their parents. And one of them had the audacity, the temerity, his name is Bob Shoemaker, to blame the sheriff. Take a listen to this.
Our great sheriff, he made a mountain out of a molehill with all these trumped up charges for these kids. So if y'all saw the video, it was a one-on-one fight. There was no gang beating. It's all our sheriff trying to showboat, is all it is.
Well, if that guy Shoemaker saw the video, he's either blind or stupid. My guess is the latter. But his son stood by there playing guard, according to authorities, and did nothing to help the little girl. I mean, isn't he an accomplice?
Well, what the prosecutors are going to do, they're going to say to these kids, I'm going to take some of these kids, I'm going to separate them. I'm going to say, I'm going to cut a deal with you. Right. I want you to come and testify against these others, because that's how it's going to play out.
But there isn't going to be this full-fledged.
There's not going to be a full-fledged trial, though.
Standing guard makes him an accomplice to all the crimes.
He's just as bad as the females that threw the punches. I mean, this father needs to make his son take responsibility for his actions, and they're all guilty in my mind.
You know, and I listen to these parents, you know, and I saw, do we have the videotape of one of the girls, absolutely no remorse, one of the accused, and in fact, she's smirking. Do we have a picture of the smirk? There it is. She's in court. She's smirking. They don't get it. And you know what? I bet that's learned behavior, bad parenting.
But you know they're not going to be like this in court. You know when they go to trial, we're all litigators here. When they go to trial, they're not going to look that way. There's not going to be any smirking. They're going to be dressed very nicely. They're going to go forward. And the jurors are going to do that.
We saw her reaction in court.
But Kisha, you know, the jurors, the prospective jurors, are not going to know this about these kids. And I really think that they're going to look at this.
The defendants like Julie Garland in The Wizard of Oz, with a little gingham dress, and, you know, little rainbow.
And they're 16 years old.
All right,
I mean, that's a lot.
Let me move to something else. Cyberbullying. These kids did this because they wanted to be famous on YouTube and MySpace and so forth. Should the legislature, is it about time that we pass a law blocking violent video content?
Only if you can get the companies like YouTube to actually come forward and police it. It's very difficult. I mean, look, the legislators gave a pass to these types of websites already with the Millennium Act when they said, well, you've got copyrighted material that shows up on the website. You're not going to be responsible.
I say throw the book at these guys. A quick question. How much are they going to get, Kisha?
I would say, I don't think they're going to get life, but I think they're going to get a lot of time.
5 to 10?
I would say 5 to 10 is
for the principal players who were throwing the punches.
Exactly.
And the others maybe 3 or 4 years?
Right.
Exactly right. I think that's exactly right.
I'd throw away the key, but that's me. Kisha Hebbon, Mercedes Colwin, good to see you both.
Great to see you.
Same here.
Julie?
All right.